Bronco Mendenhall is out. Tony Elliott is in as the new head coach for the Virginia Cavaliers. Can he do anything in Charlottesville? We're continuing our ACC previews here with Ballard Sports Media. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media. Hey, before we get started, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We do college football, we do some baseball streams, and when it starts back up again, we'll get into like college basketball and NBA and all that good stuff too. We cover a variety of different sports on here, but mostly football, just being a huge football fan myself. But going through the ACC still and continuing team previews. And today we're going to look at the Virginia Cavaliers with new head coach. Well, not with him, but new head coach Tony Elliott coming in. Virginia, their bowl game was canceled last year, but they went 6-6, 4-4 in conference play. Probably one of their better seasons in a little while, right? They were supposed to play on December 29th, SMU in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Let's pull that up, by the way. They went exactly 500 this past season, of course. They played teams like William and Mary Tribe, Illinois, North Carolina, who they lost to. They played, first off, they got some good wins. I mean, they really did in good fashion. They had a really good offense, right? And Brennan Armstrong, Dontavian Wicks, Keaton Thompson, and Billy Kemp the fourth, right? Those guys come back this year. So some explosive firepower on that side of the ball. You look at what they did last year, though. They start out going 2-2 in their first 4 games. Then they start having a really good win streak going of 4 games. They lose to BYU. They lost to Notre Dame. They lost to Pitt. They lost to Virginia Tech. Basically, they lost to teams that were better than them, other than really Miami, which Miami, I thought last year, had the talent, should have been better than what they were. I just think that Manny Diaz kind of had that one season that just kind of bit him in the butt and said, he's probably not the guy. We're not here to talk about Miami, but I just figured I'd throw that out there. But wins over Louisville, over Miami, you keep it close with Virginia Tech in your rivalry game. That's not bad. You beat Illinois. You beat William and Mary Tribe. Some games that got away. North Carolina, BYU got away. That was a big shootout. BYU was just super explosive. They've had some killer teams in their history. Notre Dame, I don't know if I want to say that got away from them, but okay, 28-3. Virginia Tech, that got away from you guys in Charlottesville with your rival. Virginia Tech was just a better team that day on rivalry weekend, and so they won the game, of course. So 6-6, right at 500, 4-4 in the ACC. Unfortunately, all that hard work in your bowl game got canceled, but don't hang your head on that. Oh, we didn't play in our bowl game. Who cares? I think Virginia can use that momentum, right, to go forward. They bring a lot back, right? You got a lot of good skill positions. I mentioned you bring back Brennan Armstrong, the quarterback, top receivers, Dontavian Wicks, Keaton Thompson, Billy Kemp IV, Lavelle Davis Jr. Missed last season with a torn ACL, but he broke out in 20. So they bring a lot back on their offense, right? You know, they do lack a little bit of the run game, traditional run game that they used to have back in good days. It seems like Elliott, from what I've heard, has talked a lot that he wants to bring more balance to the offense, not be completely air raid. He does want to run the football. Ronnie Walker Jr. had a spring injury, apparently. I'm not sure what it was, but that's also with lack of experience and depth up front for Virginia, not really having too many guys on the offensive line. It could hold them back a bit. On defense, they got a new coordinator, John Rudzinski. And from what I have read, right, they have 3 and 4 man fronts, 3 to 4 guys up front, and a 5 DB system that they want to use. I did watch some of their spring game too, so I did kind of see some of that. Nick Jackson led the team with 117 tackles last year. He's an inside linebacker. Let's see. Of the Cavaliers' 19 sacks last season, 12 came from players who are no longer with the team. Georgia Tech transfer Chico Bennett Jr., who missed last season with a knee injury, and sophomore outside linebacker Mike Green are 2 of the players who could have an impact in that area. Shout out to Athlon Sports, by the way, where I kind of get some of this information. And I do kind of go back and I look at some good stat numbers as well. So they lose some, but not a lot. It's not like they lost their whole team or even half of it. They should be able to keep it together enough to put some good wins, right? So, that being said, they could go anywhere from maybe 4-8 to like what they could go back to 6s. I think 4-8 to 7-5 range is what we're looking at for the Cavs. But then again, we got to go ahead and we got to look at their schedule for 2022 and see what they can do. So, yeah. All right. Not a whole lot of trap games, too, by the way. When you look at it, Richmond Spiders, they open up with. That's a good team in basketball. At Illinois, Old Dominion, at Syracuse, at Duke. We already did them. Louisville, get a bye week. You play Georgia Tech. You play Miami. You play North Carolina. You play Pitt. You play Coastal. You play Virginia Tech. Okay. So, 6-6 last year. You got a new head coach. I think the hire is great, but I don't think Virginia is that kind of football program that can just go out and get a coach, have him come in, and automatically be a qualifier, be a contender for next season. I don't think it's like that. Some trap games on here. I don't know. Duke, maybe. Georgia Tech. Syracuse? Is Syracuse better than Virginia? Maybe. again, that's another team I haven't really looked at yet is Syracuse. I'll have to double check what they did last year, what they have coming back. So I don't know what they look like for this season. Um, so far, Coastal put up a good team in 2020. Really, really good. Was really good last year too. Could that be a trap game? Maybe they get them in November. It depends on what Coastal Carolina looks like. I mean, if Coastal Carolina, if they're firing really, really good, that could be a trap game. North Carolina, that's a game where you most likely lose, but it's not a trap. Miami's not a trap. Trap games are the games you should win and are expected to win, but don't hang your head if you get upset. Those are where the upsets happen, or the trap games. Georgia Tech could be one of those. I didn't list it, but it could be that, right? I expect improvement, in my opinion. I think you'll beat teams like Georgia Tech. I think you'll lose to teams like Miami. I think North Carolina, I'm not sure about. Right? I like Mac Brown. That could be a loss too. Um, Pitt, I'm pretty high on them. I like what they return. I also will say that Pitt lost quite a bit with Kenny Pickett going to the draft and Jordan Addison to the portal. Virginia is hard to figure out. Overall, by the way, they are a good football program. It was founded in 1888, right? They are above 500. They got like a 52 win percentage. 675, 618, and 46 is what their record is. Now, their bowl record is pretty abysmal. But they got 5 conference titles. They got 1 division title from 2019 before COVID. They got 11 All-Americans. Virginia's got a lot to be proud of in football, historically. Right? They're the only ACC Coastal Division program to ever be ranked AP number 1 in history, by the way. I guess that being when they've probably won the conference back in the 1900s. So, y'all help me out in the comments. I don't know what to say about Virginia. I mean, like I said, they do bring a lot back on the defensive side. They lost Mandy Alonso, Noah Taylor, Nick Grant, Joey Blount. They lost them. They bring back guys like Nick Jackson. Georgia Tech transfer, they bring in Chico Bennett Jr. Mike Green is it outside linebacker, I should say. They got Brendan Farrell, who's a punter and a kicker, right? And of course, I mean, I'll say this. The Coastal Division looks open, pretty much. It always is. It's Clemson from the Atlantic, and then whoever comes out on top in the Coastal. The Cavaliers just got to put together the right passing game, and I think they have a shot to put up points, which will ultimately win you games, and it can help, maybe get you to Charlotte for the ACC championship. That's it. That being said, I don't think it's going to happen. I could see them being second or third, maybe even fourth in the division this year. in Tony Elliott's first year. But don't fear that, Virginia fans. Don't fear it. It happens. It's a building block, and it's a start. I have you above 500 this year. I'm going to go ahead and say 7-5. I'm going to say your losses are Pitt, Syracuse, Miami, Coastal, and UNC. I still think Coastal's a pretty good team. That's kind of lopsided. I could very much see you winning that game 8-4. But coming off a Pitt game, coming off North Carolina and Miami, that's a tough stretch. Who knows what Coastal is going to be this year? Who knows about Virginia Tech, right? Which I think you guys will beat in Blacksburg. Louisville, I think you could beat. Duke, you could handle. Georgia Tech, you can handle. Syracuse, that's a road game. That's a tough place to go play at the Carrier Dome, or I guess it's now the JMA Wireless Dome. Illinois, Old Dominion, Richmond, you'll start out 3-0. You'll handle teams like Duke. You'll handle Louisville. You'll handle some good teams to handle and beat up on this year. But I'm gonna stick to a 7-5 for Virginia. And again, trap games, could Coastal be on there? I don't know. Duke, be careful. Mike Elko over there, that was a good coordinator for A&M. Who knows what he could do? I think it's going to take a lot to rebuild Duke, as I said in the Duke video I did for the Blue Devils. But maybe he gets some wins this year that could help him. And maybe Virginia's one of them. So I would be careful. But again, I say 7-5, Pitt, Syracuse, Miami, Coastal, and UNC. If you beat Coastal, you could easily end up maybe 8-4 when it's all said and done. But I don't think you go higher than 8 wins this year. But I'm going to say one more down and say 7-5 for Virginia Cavaliers in 2022. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to continue to put these out for you guys as we get closer to the college football season. I think we're almost done with the ACC. The Big 12 is up next, and then the Pac-12. And then if there's time, maybe I look at some group of 5 teams like BYU or Houston or whoever. So anyway, I love y'all. Jesus loves you. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media, check it out. Love you guys. Peace.